Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Today, I didn't have a specific topic I wanted to hit. I just wanted to go in and say hello to everybody and talk about a few things I've noticed in the news today, things that got my attention. One thing was the homie Ice Cube did a video today that I thought was very good. Ice Cube addressed that whole issue with Joe Biden and that crazy thing where he's up here yelling at the civil rights leaders, right? These are supposed to be your strongest Black leaders, and he's just yelling at them and screaming at them, like they're nobodies. And and of course, that they kind of got punked in public, but that's what you should expect because this is not your real leadership. These are not people that are really going to represent your interests. You need strong leadership, and I'm glad Ice Cube spoke on that. And then in addition to that, I just read today that you're going to get a stimulus check. It's going to be for about $600. It should be more. It should be more. And but that's what the government's going to do. And there are a few other things going on. So do me a favor, buckle your seatbelt, get comfortable. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button, all that good stuff. And we're going to get started right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Hello, I want to say hi to Sweet Butterfly and Rachel Hayes and Steve Booth. Shout out the city that you're from. Let me know what city you're coming from. Also, hit that thumbs up button, hit that share, subscribe, notification bell, and all that good stuff. And we're about to actually have Black Movie Night, and Black Movie Night is really dope. It's a great time where we get together as a family and we watch a Black-owned movie by a Black filmmaker who cares about the Black community. And tonight's film that we get to watch totally for free is Stock Option. Stock Option by Mark Harris. Mark Harris is a good brother, and he cares about Black people, and he makes exceptionally good movies. It's a great love story. And give me a yes or no if you think that Hollywood needs to do a better job of portraying Black love. Black love is what we need. Healthy love, happy love, where the Black woman is elevated, respected, and supported the way she should be. That's what Stock Option is all about. So join us at 8:00 tonight. If you're watching this live, you may be watching the recording, in which case you can still go to blackmovienight.net and see what we're showing right now. But if you're watching this live, then tonight is the 17th of December at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to watch Stock Option together. So you can go to blackmovienight.net and get your pass. All right, so let me hop in and talk about some things I saw today. First of all, Ice Cube stepped out and made a statement about Joe Biden and his chaos, where he's up here yelling at these civil rights leaders like they ain't nothing, just literally screaming at them like a pimp yelling at a bunch of hoes. And I thought that was so appropriate. I mean, the imagery of that whole Zoom meeting. Did anybody see that? Give me a yes or no if you saw that, where Joe Biden is screaming at these. Supposedly, these are the strongest Black leaders in America, and he's just yelling at them. Just like they're a bunch of little punks. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of them are. Not because they are punks in every aspect of their life, but because they've been punked. You're being punked by white supremacy. You're trying to achieve power in a system that wasn't built for you, and so therefore they're treating you the way you deserve to be treated. You are the bottom of the barrel. So when you're at the bottom of the barrel, you get peed on. You get stepped on. And I think that Joe Biden yelling at them was probably the best thing that could have happened for those of us that actually believe in Black liberation. It was a great aha moment. It was a great I told you so. And I thought about that, and I figured Ice Cube might come out and say something about it. I don't know what he's going to say. He's his own man. He speaks when he wants to. And I was so happy that he came and addressed that, because if you recall, a lot of you remember, I knew when I took surveys, a lot of you intelligent Black people, not the average Negroes, not the mainstreamers, not the CNBCers or the MSNBCers. And they had a problem with Ice Cube because they have a problem when a slave stands up and faces the massa man to man. They don't like that. They defend the plantation. Most of you actually supported Ice Cube in what he was saying, in that the argument at that time that all of us were making, Dr. Claude Anderson made this argument. I mean, it wasn't just Q. I mean, he had expert advisors that were basically strategizing, and the positioning was very basic. It was, if you want to get something done, you must negotiate while you have the leverage in your favor. You must negotiate firmly while you have the leverage in your favor. And so anybody who came and said, well, let's just wait till after the election's over. Let's talk to him after the election. Let's get him in office first, then we'll talk to him. Well, that's a sucker move. That's really that's like your daughter telling her her boyfriend, like, well, I'm gonna give you the sex first, and then I'm gonna ask you for the commitment, or I'm gonna give you the sex first, then I'm gonna see if he's gonna be nice to me. No, you don't do that. You don't give it up first and then see what happens. You say, no, no, no. While I got your attention, here are some things I'm gonna need from you to show me that you really care about me, and you're not using me in order to get what you need right now. And so basically, when Biden went and yelled at those politicians, it was fully expected. What surprised me was that it happened in public, or that somebody caught this on camera. That tells me that there are Black people that are in these positions, in these, and this is something I know to be true just from people I've spoken to. There are prominent Black Democrats who are just as frustrated as you. They're just as angry as you are about the mistreatment and the disrespect. They're just as upset as you are, because some of them really want to be awake. Some of them really want to do something good for the Black community, and they're frustrated because their masses won't let them do anything. They step out there and they say, okay, let's do something for Black people, and nobody, nobody responds, right? And so the reason they can't say anything, though, is because they are trapped in the system. They're trapped in the closet. They're locked up. They can't speak up. They don't have the freedom to speak the way you and I can speak, because they're still entangled in that system. So ultimately, long story short, Ice Cube did a great video. I shared it on. He's got it on his Instagram. I've got it on mine. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So you can go there and watch what he had to say. And I really think we should support the brother, because he's trying to do the right thing. I know a lot of people get mad, like, oh, why would a rapper be talking about politics? Well, because he's getting advice. He's getting experts that are helping him to shape his message in a certain way. And so if white people can elect Ronald Reagan, then Black people can elect Ice Cube. So stop believing that because somebody's an entertainer, they can't have something productive to say. But being an entertainer alone is not what makes you a relevant leader in the community. It's being an entertainer who knows how to use your power and your platform for a productive purpose. And you got people around you that can help you hit the mark. Ice Cube's been hitting the mark. And where did he hit the mark? He hit the mark because he talked about economics. He talked about economics. Everybody type the word economics in the chat to let me know that you are with me on this, or type either economics or money, one of the two, or you can type both. They kind of mean the same thing. It's all about the economics. I mean, everybody gets in there and they want to talk about all these other things. They want to talk about police brutality. Not that that's not important, but that's a distraction. They want to talk about voter suppression. Not that that's not important, but that's a distraction. They want to talk about, oh, we're going to protect you from the pandemic. No, no, no. If you want to protect us from the pandemic, then bail out all the Black businesses that have died during the pandemic. I mean, if you really want to help Black people in the pandemic, then write some checks, cut the check. Send some dollar bills. Don't send your sympathy. Send some dollar bills to all those thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses that folded during the pandemic because y'all sent the money to rich white people who didn't even need it. If you really want to do something for Black people during the pandemic, you want to protect them from the pandemic, help those, struggling mothers and fathers who cannot pay the rent during the pandemic. How about that? How about you cut the check? Cut the shit and cut the check. Seriously, cut the crap and cut me a check. And so the reason I want you to type the word economics in here is because here's the deal. All these other issues are really, that's gaslighting. These other issues are created, almost manufactured trauma, manufactured problems designed to just get your attention. They don't even really solve those problems. They use those problems to get you from focusing on the things that matter. So, when you're talking to these politicians, I encourage you, go right for the jugular. You got to talk about the economics first, and then say, look, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you want to protect me from COVID, but I really just need you to write that check because I can protect myself. I know how to wash my hands. I'm eating healthy food. We know how to go. I can use that money to go buy me some medicine. I can use that money to protect myself in other ways. I don't need your protection. I'd rather you just cut the check. So Ice Cube has it right in that he's talking about the money, and that's why I applaud what Ice Cube's doing, and I think that we should listen and give this brother support and respect. Actually, if you go to the allblackagenda.com, I actually put a link to his contract with Black America on that page, along with other Black Agenda resources that you can apply with your family right now without Joe Biden's permission, right there on that page. The Black Agenda is going to be implemented by Black people in Black families. They're not. It's not going to be implemented at the congressional level. It's not going to be implemented at the presidential level by an executive order. It's not going to be implemented by white corporations. It's going to be implemented by you. So give me a yes in the chat if you follow what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to take action in your life and stop worrying about these politicians because they ain't never saved Black people in hundreds of years. They're not going to come save you tomorrow. So, and you ain't got to ask nobody permission to take power. You just take it. So, anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Let me talk about a couple of other little things on my mind. The other issue is some of you were asking me about stimulus checks and all that. And yeah, it looks like Congress, your highly inefficient, inept, incompetent politicians are actually going to pass a stimulus package for a little bit less than $1 trillion. There is a component in there for a stimulus check of about $600. That's not a lot of money. I hate it. I just hate it. I'd rather see a man have a job where he's making $600 a week or $1,000 a week than to have him get one check for $600 and for somebody to act like that's really supposed to last. It's what they're doing in this country is ridiculous. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's chaotic. It's unbelievable. But there should be a check included. Now, what also will be included will be some other things in terms of supporting the states that are all going bankrupt because they shut everything down. Some of the businesses that are hopefully doing some of the hiring, getting funding for those businesses. What I don't see is anything that's really going to make sure small businesses and Black businesses are supported and taken care of. So you're going to get a lot of the same nonsense. What I really want to see is the economy moving again. Now, a lot of you are invested in the stock market. Give me a yes or no if you're invested in the stock market. I hope the answer is yes for a lot of you. Even if you got $2 in the stock market, I hope that you're watching that $2 carefully because we're gonna grow that to $4. And so, give me a yes or no if you're a stock market investor. Let me just say this: when they announced that stimulus package to go through, you can fully expect another jump in the stock market. It's been doing extremely well. I think the Dow hit another high today, which is awesome for you. And it's gonna. There's a lot of other good news on the horizon. I believe that when they announce the stimulus, there's going to be a jump. Also, when they start announcing the delivery of the vaccine, that's going to be another jump. Whether you're going to take the vaccine or not, the delivery of the vaccine is going to create a sense of comfort and confidence in the economy, which will be a positive indicator for most of your stocks as long as you're properly diversified and you're investing consistently. So I would encourage you to try to really be as creative as you can be about skinning your economic cat because these people don't care nothing about you. You got to take care of yourself. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is, and that's my job is to tell you the truth and to break it down for you as best I can. All right, so now, now David says, I happen to think that's a very good question. Can you not answer it? See, that's what's so funny is when somebody says, well, why don't you answer my question? And I see them asking me why I didn't answer their question, but they don't actually include the question. So in the thousands of comments that flow through, I didn't see your original question. So sorry, David. You got to, if you ask me to answer your question, you got to put the question in there so I can answer it. Amazon, I like Amazon. I am going to continue to invest in Amazon. I think Amazon's going to win in the Christmas wars. Amazon's made massive investments in infrastructure. They tend to be a leg up on everybody else. They always tend to be ahead of the curve. So I believe Amazon's going to be the company that's going to really give you a positive earnings surprise during Christmas. Bitcoin obviously has been just skyrocketing. There are so many experts now. Bitcoin's over 20,000, 23,000 now. There are so many experts right now that are literally saying that they see Bitcoin going as high as 300,000, 400,000, even 500,000, which is unimaginable now. But maybe 2 years from now, it won't seem so unimaginable. All I can say is that I'm definitely investing in Bitcoin, but I'm not putting all my hopes into Bitcoin because you've seen the market crash. But remember, this is not the same as what you had 3 years ago. This is a very different market. So you could actually see some long-term sustainable growth. in the price of Bitcoin. So anyway, that I don't have much else to say. I was thinking the two things that were on my mind were the markets, the economy, the stimulus package, Bitcoin, and also Ice Cube and his remarks on Joe Biden. I thought it was really dope that he actually said something about it, and I support him. I mean, that's an ally in my mind, and that's somebody that I think genuinely cares about the people and genuinely cares about putting strengthening Black economics, and that's what you really need. I mean, money. Think about this. Think about your own life. Think about how many problems get solved when you have enough money, and then think about how many problems emerge when you don't have enough money. So basically, these politicians are starving you out. They're starving you, and they're throwing you crumbs, and they're throwing you things like voting rights. Well, what good are voting rights if I have no economic base on my community? If you give me voting rights and no economic base, then basically my vote is still wasted, because when I vote for the politician, they don't work for the voters. They work for the people that gave them money. The people that gave them money to buy the voters. Voters get bought. Voters are a commodity. Voters are not the people that actually get to tell the politicians what to do. It's the people that fund the politician, because without the money, they can't even get the voters. They give them the money to advertise themselves to the voters, so the voters vote based on what the ads are telling them to do. And then when the politician's looking who to take, to who he's going to take care of, he takes care of the people that have the money. So for Black people, you got to get the money. You got to get the money. So what Cube is saying is 100% correct. In fact, the only reason Ice Cube is able to speak when all these other Hollywood celebrities don't say anything is because Cube's got the money. Cube has independent money. Cube owns things. He owns assets. He owns the Friday series. He owns Are We There Yet? He owns, or a chunk of it anyway. He owns the Big Three League. He owns his brand. He has all these other things he owns. A Black man who's an owner can speak differently from a Black man who's an employee. Just be clear about that. Be clear about that. A Black man who's an employee never has financial security, because your financial security is being provided to you at the leisure or at the pleasure of your oppressor. When your oppressor decides, oh, that Negro's a little too secure, I'm going to take away his security, they can take that away in a second. That's why I just tell you that if you're talking about what security really looks like, there's nothing secure about a Black person claiming to have financial security when that security is being provided by the very same people who are oppressing you. It doesn't even make any sense. It's not even, you know, a woman is never protected by the man who just assaulted her, right? That person, even if they change their ways, even if he's a better person, that's not the person you need as your protector. You need to get a real protector who really cares about you. So for Black people, you're in a weird position. Today, I was actually in Dr. Claude Anderson and I were doing the Powernomics Masterclass, and an epiphany kind of hit me. So Dr. Anderson, we were talking, and Dr. Anderson has a lot of respect for Ice Cube, and and Ice Cube is a big fan of Powernomics. He's tweeted about this, and I just thought I was really excited to see the Powernomics ideas and those philosophies really spreading to the community. And so, anyway, so Dr. Anderson and I were doing a Powernomics Masterclass today, and we were talking about the advantages that immigrants have over Black people, and how immigrants come to America and they establish their own little communities, Chinatown, and the Jewish community has their own little space, and things like that. And there's no disrespect to any of those individuals at all. I'm happy for them, and they build their businesses and things like that. And I said, let's flip this, Dr. Anderson. Let's think this through. So, why, if I were an immigrant coming to America, why wouldn't I do what immigrants do? I said, imagine if I was an immigrant going to China. Well, I'm not positioned to go look for a job working for a Chinese company. I don't even know the language. I don't know how to go get a good job in a Chinese corporation. I would know the first thing to do, right? What I would probably do is first I'd find other Americans that speak the language, that serve food that I'm familiar with, that have a culture I'm familiar with, and I would congregate with them for safety. And then we would start businesses that allow us to leverage the fact that we're uniquely American, right? We will sell American products, maybe DVDs, or teach people English, or just do things that are uniquely American that allow us to have a competitive advantage in that community where we are foreigners, right? So that's what explains what happens with immigrants here in America. Now, the reason Black people don't always do what immigrants do is because you're kind of stuck in this weird purgatory, in the economic purgatory. Your purgatory is that you're not quite an immigrant, because this is your country, right? You built the country. This is the only country you know. You go back 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 generations in this country, right? And so you're like, okay, I'm an American. Like, I don't really I'm not an immigrant, so I'm not going to do what immigrants do. But the problem is that you're not part of the American family. Like the American economic system has never invited you to be a partner in that process. They integrated you as a subordinate, not as a full equity partner. So, so you are a commodity for that system. So your traditional role has been to be commodified, to be used as part of somebody else's production process. A commodity might be like oil. Oil is necessary to run the car, but oil is not an entity in itself. It's not like oil. The oil doesn't own anything. The oil is just used to move the engine, and the owner of the car actually has the power, not the oil, right? So so you are the oil, you are the labor, you are, your culture gets taken, your land gets taken, all your assets in your community kind of get taken by those who are commodifying you and using you to make money for themselves. So for Black people, you got to kind of pull away from that. You have to make a conscious decision. This is where economic consciousness is so important. You must make a conscious decision to disconnect from that and to say, we know, we see what it is, and those of us who get that don't want to be commodities anymore, right? We don't want you using us anymore unless you're paying for the use of whatever it is you get from us. So if you use our labor, you got to pay big money for that. If you use our land, you got to pay us big money for that. If you use our culture, you must pay us big money for that. If you use our athletes, you must pay us big money for that, right? And that requires a shift in thinking. That requires a shift in thinking. So what I would say to you is that, as Black people, you must change your thinking. Your liberation is up to you. Your freedom comes down to what you do. It's not what the politicians do. I don't understand on any earth or any planet why a white man would have an incentive to liberate a Black man. I cannot think of a single reason why white people would have any reason, and it's no disrespect to them. I'm not. This is not anti-white. This is just truth. I have no ability to see how they would ever want you to do better than what you are right now, because right now the system works really well. Right now you're in this abusive relationship, and it feels like a good relationship to the dominant party, right? You're the one getting screwed, but the person screwing you says, baby, it feels good. Like, what are you complaining about? Right. And so it's up to you to say, no, this isn't going to happen. The same way the white feminists say, my body, my choice, all that. You must say, this is my economic body. Yeah, this is my choice, my body, my choice, right? This is mine. You can't take this without asking for it, or without compensating me for what you're taking. So in order for you to do that, you got to stand up for yourself. So I think that what I like about what Ice Cube does, and some of a few other individuals that are out here doing this, is that they're basically standing up for Black people. That's it. Just standing up and saying, you can't use us for our vote without compensating us. You can't use us for our talent without compensating us. You can't come take our land without compensating us. Taxation without representation. That was the foundation of the whole Revolutionary War. So you have taxation without representation. They tax the hell out of you, but they don't represent you. They tax you, they don't compensate you. They use you, but don't actually use your resources to your benefit. They use your resources to their benefit. That's why every politician, the first thing they talk about in every election is making sure you have the right to vote, because they need to make sure you show up to the polls to keep them in power. That's why voting rights is always the number one thing they'll talk about. And I encourage you, you got to push the issue. You must shift the conversation. You must force them to start talking about the money, and the money, because the money is all that there is in America. The money kind of drives everything else. So it doesn't mean you can't get to the other issues, but you can solve those other issues better when you have money. You can solve healthcare disparities with money. You can solve economic disparities, joblessness issues with money. There's very few of those problems that you mentioned on TV or whatever can be solved, without the money. The money is the key. So everybody type the word money in there if you to get what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And like I said, tonight we're gonna meet at 8 o'clock to watch the movie Stock Option. It's a Black-owned movie by Mark Harris. He's a really great director. We want to support our directors. We need to build our own Black film industry. We need to stop letting Hollywood make these stupid movies about us and start making movies about ourselves. And the way to do that is buying Black, supporting Black, building Black. So we're building Black. This is what we're doing. We're doing blackmovienight.net. Go to blackmovienight.net. It's totally free. And we're going to show up and we're going to watch Mark Harris's film, Stock Option. And we're going to make this man famous. I want everybody in that movie to be super famous in the community. I want Mark to be known as important of a director as Rome, I don't know, whoever the biggest white directors are. I don't even keep up with them anymore. I don't even know what white people do in their community. I just know what we do in ours. So we're doing that tonight at 8 o'clock. So feel free to join us. And also, by the way, if you didn't know, we have financial workbooks and flashcards for kids. So if you're interested in taking a look, just go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. So take care, guys. It was great talking to you. Have a good day. And one more time, just shout out to Ice Cube for what he did with that video, on the Black bailout. I think that was exactly what people needed, and I hope that everybody's listening. So take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.